You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Migrant Workers Undersecretary Hans Cacdac. Usec, Happy New Year to you too. First, how many OFWs were affected by this technical glitch, sir?
Happy New Year, Miss Pinky. Okay, I'll start with January 1st, where Secretary Toots Ople instructed myself and OWA Administrator Arnel Ignacio to be on the ground and supervise our airport personnel already in place that day, DMW and OWA airport personnel. Okay, we had engaged on that day around 3,000 OFWs in terms of their need to have rebooking services with their airlines. And indeed, we engaged the airlines, the PAL. You just spoke to Michelo, I heard, and no less than PAL President Stanley Nang was on the ground with us, and we're thankful. And then there were food packs and hotel accommodation and transport services given to all these OFWs concerned. And this is nationwide, Pinky, meaning not just NAIA, but covering Mactan, Clark, and Davao international airports.
So, to be clear, sir, did you say 3,000 OFWs were affected? But was that just on January 1?
This was January 1st. I have to qualify that by saying that January 1st, of course, was the day in which these OFWs, 3,000 of them, needed particular services that I had mentioned. And on January 2nd, upon instructions also of Secretary Toots, I returned yesterday, and the number of OFWs needing assistance was far, far less than 3,000.
Okay. Usec, I want to bring siguro an issue to you that our correspondent was able to talk to one of the OFWs who was very, well, she was supposed to go back to Hong Kong, sir. At sinasabi nga niya, wala siyang flight pabalik. Papaano daw yon? Baka daw mawalan siya ng trabaho dahil kailangan on that particular day ay nakabalik na siya. I'm not sure. I mean, siguro the question really is for our OFWs who may have problems, siguro because they're not able to go back to their employers on a particular day. How does the DMV, how are you able to help or assist them?
Okay. With respect to this particular OFW, we had carefully tracked the interview and the story that had been put forward about her. We're still trying to locate her at the moment. We know that based on information that she had first failed to board a flight for whatever reason prior to the incident, prior to the January 1 incident, and eventually for some reason was offloaded by the airline. This is the information that we have at the moment. And we are still trying to locate her. We have the name, but apparently based on our records, we have talked to the people or persons with the same name, and they all said that they were not the OFW involved. So as we locate her, let me say that we have been working closely with the airlines in terms of rebooking. I heard Michelo say that there would be X number of days for a passenger to rebook. But let me say, Pinky, that with respect to the PAL, for instance, and many other airlines, rebooking were actually undertaken on the day itself, January 1st. And many passengers had obtained their rebooking information and slots, I should say, on the day itself. So the X number of days needed to rebook did not even have to transpire, or the workers or the passengers did not even have to wait.
Are you saying, Usec, that time that they wanted to rebook, they were able to rebook that same day?
Yes, I saw it for myself and Admin Arnel. With respect to the PAL, as I said, the PAL President Stanley Nang was on the ground with us. And of course, upon the directive of Secretary Toots, we also coordinated with the other airlines. And with respect to the PAL, we witnessed at least four rebooking counters open. Of course, there was queuing, but rest assured, we had served food packs while they were awaiting the rebooking services, and eventually we saw for ourselves that the OFWs on that day had been rebooked.
You said for those OFWs who may have a problem because of issues with their employers, possibly because they weren't able to go back to work as soon as they were expected to, what can they do, or who can they call, or how can you help them?
Okay. With respect to the DMW, alongside the hotlines of the airlines, the respective airlines, the hotline is 1348. The DMW OWA hotline is 1348. So, pakitawagan lang po yun, and we will provide the necessary link or coordinative service to your respective airlines.
I see. Again, let's just repeat that. The hotline is 1348, no, Usec, for the DMW. Doon na lang po sila tumawag. At nakahanda naman po yung hotline. Marami naman pong sasagot ng hotline.
Yes, yes, of course. And we will provide the service in real time. We will immediately get back to the OFW to help them.
And right now, what other concerns is the DMW working on with regards to the OFWs who are possibly still stranded? And siguro as a last question, sir, how many OFWs are still stranded as we speak?
Okay, what I know from January 1st onward is that at least 400 OFWs were provided hotel accommodations per instructions of Secretary Toots to the OWA. So we're thankful to Admin Arnel as well. And we know that these 400 OFWs have different rebook flight dates. So ang tanong nga nun on that day, Ms. Pinky, was kami po ba, sabi ng mga OFWs, tanong ng OFWs, ay pwedeng ma-hotel until their rebook flight dates, let's say January 5 or 6. And Secretary Toots and Admin Arnel were one in saying, yes, you may stay in your respective hotel. So as we speak, we still have, by my estimate, maybe half of the 400 still in hotels waiting for the rebook flight. So today is the 3rd. I know some or many of them have rebook flight dates on the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. And as we speak also, yesterday, myself and at least 2 DMW assistant secretaries were doing roving activities, roving work. So we are still monitoring the situation on the ground. We assisted around, by my estimate, around at least 10 OFWs yesterday who still needed some rebooking or luggage issues or some other concerns at the airport.
Okay. All right. Migrant Workers Undersecretary Hans Cacdac, sir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Pinky. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.